spiritual food for thought.
So today I want to talk to you about Christian morons. And just from the title, you may think you know who I'm talking about, but this isn't about anyone specifically. It's about the fact that in general, Christians are morons, at least to the world. And if we think about this for a moment, what is Christianity based upon? Really, it starts, of course, with God and starts with sinful man, but it kind of culminates at the cross. The point that it all comes together and the focal point becomes a sin-free Messiah dying on the cross for rebellious sinners. Okay? Now, if we think about the cross for a moment, what is the cross? Well, the cross to the world is foolishness, right? Here in 1 Corinthians chapter 1, verse 18, it says, "For the preaching of the cross is to them that perish foolishness, but unto us that are saved it is the power of God." So for those who know and understand the truth, it's a beautiful thing. But to the world, those who are still perishing, it's foolishness. That word translated as foolishness there, if you grab a Strong's Concordance, it's going to be number 3472, Moriah. Foolishness is how it's translated. And it appears 5 times in Scripture. And they're all right here in the beginning of 1 Corinthians. Another time is when it says, this is verse 21, "For after that, in the wisdom of God, the world by wisdom knew not God. It pleased God by the foolishness of preaching to save them that believe." When it continues on in verse 25, it says, "Because the foolishness of God is wiser than men, and the weakness of God is stronger than men." That word foolishness here is 3474, moros. So if you think about Moriah and moros, this is where we get the word moron from. So contemplate this for a moment. Our entire faith kind of focuses on this point of what Scripture tells us the world thinks is moronic. So if you're dealing with somebody who's lost, somebody who's still on, they're going to be one who perishes, Scripture says here. When they find out you're a Christian, here it says they think you're a moron. Okay? Now, personally, I don't care if the world thinks you're a moron. I really don't. If you're a believer in the Messiah and you've chose to live your life for Him and you're going to follow what God has commanded by the power of His Spirit as revealed in His written word, that's fine with me, even if the world thinks you're a moron for doing so. And why don't I care if the world thinks you're a moron? Because I don't care if the world thinks I'm a moron. Why? Because the world's wrong, right? Now the problem comes in is when we're going to have a faith that is based upon a lot. I mean, we can look up things historically too. Yes, Jesus Christ was a real historical figure. He really was crucified and He really rose again. We can find that in extra biblical sources, but a lot of what's revealed to us about what to do, how to live, about our relationship and our faith with God is going to come from the Bible. So since the world already thinks you're a moron just for believing that in the first place, when you sit there and compromise what Scripture actually reveals to try to look wise to the world. I mean, have you ever seen a moron try to act wise? They don't pull it off very well. Nobody falls for it. And in fact, when a Christian who says, "Here's where I stand," okay, tries to act wise to the world by removing his own, foundation, how moronic is that? You're trying to look wise to people who think you're a moron, and then you contradict your entire belief system, and maybe not the entire belief system, but at least where it comes from, to try to be like, "Oh, no, I'm scientific. Oh, no, I'm wise. Oh, I don't disagree with whatever you guys believe. I believe that too." You look like twice the moron. Okay, now you're actually being a moron. Okay? You're not just appearing to be one to the world who's deceived, but you're actually doing things that are foolish, that are moronic. So again, humble yourselves. Understand in the first place that for believing this, the world's going to think you're a moron. You don't need to try to act wise to them. Okay? They think you're a moron. And as long as you still believe in things like the cross Okay, it says the preaching of the cross is to them that perish foolishness. That's what it is to them. If this is what you're basing your life on, why you live your life the way that you do, to say thank you to the God who redeemed you so that you can live on and enter this relationship with him now that doesn't end in the destruction of this world, they think that's moronic to begin with. Okay? So hopefully this just provides some perspective. We aren't to look at ourselves the way that the world does. Neither are we to believe the things that the world says, okay? When you sit there and say, the world thinks I'm a moron, do you believe that? That is actually true? I don't disregard the fact that they think you're a moron because you're a Christian. But then why are you going to agree with them on all the other stuff they're wrong about? Oh yeah, there was millions of years and death and suffering way before God ever made man. Really? Seems like a lot to occur during those 5 days before God made man. And if we head from there, wait a minute, after the end of the 6th day, he said everything was very good. So millions of years of death and disease and suffering and thorns and thistles before the curse is very good to your God? Seriously. It's okay if they think you're a moron, but don't be a moron. And if you think about that a little deeper for a moment, if I say that I believe the world is only a couple thousand years old, and the world says I'm a moron, do you think that's why they think I'm a moron? No, they already thought I was a moron for being a Christian in the first place. Now I'm just a Christian who believes the Bible, who believes what God has recorded in the Bible. Now, when you say you're a Christian in the first place, and then you disregard what Scripture says so that the world doesn't think you're a moron, well, they already think you're a moron because you already admitted you're a Christian, that you believe these things, and then you just disregard some of these things to try to act wise to them. So if the world wants to call me a moron for thinking the world is only thousands of years old and not millions or billions, that's okay. I'm already comfortable with them calling me a moron because the second I was a Christian, they thought I was a moron. The second I believed some of the stuff that was written in the Bible, they already thought I was a moron. So if I believe some of the other stuff, I'm not going to be more of a moron. I either am one or not, and in their eyes, I already am. Now, when you claim to believe what's written here and there, but not here and there, then you're a moron for believing some, and then you're even more moronic for not believing the rest. Just my 2 cents for what it's worth. Be blessed. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.